everyone. You met Thomas last time, Global Partner of the Year 2025, and got up in the middle of the night in Bali, where he's been living for quite a few years now, extra to give us a book recommendation. In our Corsair Connect community calls, these Triple C calls, I'd really like to get a book recommendation every single time. You might want to read it, you might not. Let's hear what Thomas has chosen for it. And over to you, Thomas. Off you go, please.
Thank you so much. Well, to clear the air, I didn't go to sleep because I wanted to be really alive for talking to you guys. And according to what Jean-Luc just explains, I want to invite you for a book, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, even though we would not do that about a movie. So this is the book, is the Four Toltec Agreements. It's called The Four Agreements, and it's from Don Miguel Ruiz. And this came out in 1997. Let's call it a philosophical body of teaching. It's a quick read, about 2 hours, and it has sold 10 million copies worldwide, 40 different languages. It's a personal development book, one of the only one who stayed for 10 years on the New York Times bestseller. So there is something to see there. It's a little book, and it came into my life in 2016, so that's 10 years ago, back when I was working in a corporate company in France. And one morning, one of my colleagues shows up radiant, so happy. Her name was Lauren. And I was like, what's going on? And she said, I found the book that is changing everything in my life. I was like, really? What is it? It was that one. Back in the days, I read it and it had impacted me, but not as much as when I read it for a second time when I became an entrepreneur. And the reason why I'm talking to you about this book, it's because it's extremely compatible for network marketing for some reason. It's not about network marketing. It's about principles of life philosophy, which help us to live a better life. And it goes alongside four agreements. So let me tell you a little bit about those four. But again, this 5-minute transmission is not enough. You have to read the book like you would have to go see a movie if it's a great one. So that's really what I want you to take with you is, I need to read this book. It's available everywhere on the internet. So the first agreement, which means that it's a principle we will decide to abide by. So an agreement that you make with yourself. The first one is called be impeccable with your word. And that, of course, is about integrity. And integrity builds trust. And our network marketing business, it's about creating relationship and building trust. So in the context of Corsair Connect, being impeccable with our word would mean that we are clear about the opportunity. We say what it is and what it is not. We don't overinflate or overpromise things. We keep to what is in integrity with the truth. And in that manner, we are not misrepresenting. We are being authentic with our true enthusiasm and with how great this business is. And that will build trust. And you want people to follow you in this adventure. So they need to feel they can trust you. So that's where we start. Be impeccable with your word. That brings you integrity. Now the second, and I'll do a teaser on each of them. The second agreement is called don't take anything personally. And that's a hard one for life, but in business as well. So it explains that truly nothing is personal. In the context of this business, we invite, and somebody may say yes, may say no. They can come to the presentation and then criticize or reject or disappear. But that's not personal to you. The person is saying no to this opportunity at this present time. For many things in life, we gain more freedom if we can not take anything personally. And I'll give you a little hint. Even when someone criticizes you personally, that also has nothing to do with you. It depends on their own projection, their own story, their own trauma. You'll get why when you read the book. So this second agreement is about freedom. Now, the third agreement is don't make assumptions. Making assumptions, meaning I'm assuming what you think or what you believe or what you understood, will lead me to have a misunderstanding in our communication, which then breaks my capacity to relate to you. So don't make assumptions is about clarity. And the antidote is very simple. And we taught it a lot in the Actors of Change training with Lumina. It's asking questions to clarify. And there's never stupid question. What did you understand exactly about this? What do you mean when you say that? How can we best work together? What do you expect from me as your sponsor? You see what that does? That clarifies so that your member and yourself don't make up a story about what's really needed in this moment. So don't make assumption brings us clarity. And finally, the fourth agreement is always do your best. We might think, well, that's obvious. We want to always do our best. But do we? Do you? What does it mean? It's explained in the book that you want to always do your best, not less and not more. Doing less than your best will lead you to have regrets. Oh, what would have happened if I really applied what I learned in the training from the beginning? What would have happened if I actually did my list of contact and reached out without being afraid of the answer of people? So it's about not having regrets, which leads us to not judge ourselves. And that carries a cost. So by always doing our best, we save ourselves a lot of energy inside of ourselves. But we don't want to do too much. We don't want to overdo it, to over push ourselves, to go towards burnout, because that doesn't serve anyone, especially you, especially us as partners. We don't want to go into overdoing things because then we hurt ourselves, we lose the motivation, and we question and doubt. So what we really want to be doing is feeling happy about ourselves that we showed up and we did our best. Our best may change. When you're really tired, your best is not as good as when you feel on top of the world. But for Corsair Connect, what does it mean? It means, for example, showing up consistently, like we teach in the training. Do at least a little bit every day to the best of your abilities. That's an example. So, you know, a career, including in network marketing, it's really a marathon more than a sprint. That's why we want to preserve ourselves on the long run. So this fourth one is about honesty. So if you want to learn in a very simple way, again, it's a 2-hour read and it may change your life. You will learn 4 principles that will bring you more integrity, more freedom, more clarity, and more honesty. And I am sure, like Jean-Luc was saying earlier, I know this will make a change for you. I just don't know how much. So that's what I have to say about this book, and I hope you'll buy it. And we don't have a link for that. You just go on Amazon and find it yourself.
Yeah, as you said, it's translated into so many different languages. Thomas, great job. Thank you so much. And you know, it's one of my favorite books, and you just highlighted some really important points. Very, very grateful to you. I think I told you, I was living in LA in 2008, 2009. I used to go every Tuesday evening to the house of Lee McCloskey, an artist in Malibu. Every Tuesday evening, he had like a discussion group, philosophical discussion group, lots of interesting people there. And one of the guys there who I got to know through the weekly talks and everything had been a pupil of Don Miguel Ruiz. And so I really wanted to know, is he the genuine article? Because, I mean, there are so many people out there who get put on a pedestal and now they're teaching and motivational, whatever it is, personal development. Is he the real thing? And this friend told me he'd lived there and worked with him for 18 months, so seeing him on a daily basis. He's the genuine article. He walks the talk. He's written that down from living it and experiencing it. So all you partners in the call tonight, you can really trust the wisdom that's in this book. It's written by a real teacher. Yeah. Thomas, thank you so much. And I'm going to put the third agreement into practice. I'm not going to assume that you might go to bed now at 3 o'clock in the night or whatever it is. I'm going to say, if you go to bed, we hope you have a good sleep.